It will be dry on Christmas Day. No snow, but we'll take dry.
Yeah, 21 minutes past 9 and the government's announced it will let 30,000 people off from paying part of a controversial tax charge that resulted from having a portion of their salary paid as a loan.
Now, many had been accused of tax avoidance going back 20 years. Radio 4's Money Box presenter Paul Lewis joins us now from our London newsroom. Paul, what exactly was this tax charge and how did it work?
Hello, Tina. Well, as John said, these people were paid not salary in the normal way of things. They were paid through an offshore trust, and the money came back to them not as pay but as a loan. And they argued, or at least the scheme sponsors argued, that that was therefore not taxable as income. And to be honest, for many, many years, it wasn't clear what the law actually did say on that. And the Revenue tried to say it was income, but in some cases failed when they went to tribunals. So people were not paying the tax they should have paid. They were, though, paying hefty fees to the organisers. Now, to cut through all the problems of recovering the tax from them, the government decided a couple of years ago to impose what it called this loan charge. Not tax in the normal sense of the word, a charge equal to the tax they should have paid. And they were going back, as you said, 20 years to 1999. That was considered very unfair. In this report that came out late yesterday, that period was changed, so they can only go back 9 years to 2010. Still a long way. Normally that would only apply to deliberate criminal tax evasion. Tax avoidance, you normally can go back 4 years of tax mistakes. So it is still pretty harsh, and a lot of people will still have to pay a lot of money. So, but it's important, but it's not really quite as good, perhaps, as the government would like us to see it.
Paul, a really important thing to point out here is that this scheme, the people who use this scheme weren't necessarily wealthy. We're talking about nurses, social workers, IT contractors.
Yes, absolutely. These were not people on massive salaries, and certainly not wealthy people. Some of them say they'll be bankrupted or have to lose their home under the charge until these changes came out. So yes, there were some social workers, some nurses, people working in hospitals, IT contractors, not phenomenally well-paid people. And they were persuaded to do this because they worked through what are called umbrella companies, and for some of them it was just a condition of working. This is how you're paid. It goes offshore, it comes back to you, and you pay less tax. They didn't embark on it to save tax on the whole, though I have to say some of them did know what was going on. Most of them didn't. And this loan charge has come as a real shock to say, well, you've got to pay all the tax you owed us over all those years in one lot in 2019-20. So this wasn't... It wasn't the right tax they were paying, but it wasn't a major tax avoidance scheme by wealthy people, no.
And finally, Paul, what happens now to those people who were due to pay?
Well, if they have paid, and yet the changes say they shouldn't have paid, they will get the money back. The people who still have to pay, and 39,000 people roughly will have to pay something or all the loan charge. They will get a bit longer to pay it, a bit longer to sort out their affairs. They'll be able to keep half their income, but goodness, that's not really much to live on for a large number of years. So they will be pretty impoverished even under the new rules, and many campaigners are saying this doesn't go far enough. The loan charge should never have been imposed and we want it stopped. I think the chances of them getting any more from the government are pretty remote, though.
Paul, thank you for explaining that to us, and there'll be more on that on Money Box at midday.